What's good, y'all? Making the Walk podcast. This is Antoine. As usual, thank you to our subscribers, everybody that follows us on social media and here on YouTube. We definitely appreciate you. If you are new, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. If you agree, you disagree, we love to hear all of that. Leave that down in the comments, and we love to correspond with you either here or on Twitter, as well as Instagram. Don't forget that. But today, what we're going to talk about are the top 5 lightweights in the UFC of all time. So long considered, I think recently, kind of the glamour division is the lightweight division. It's got the likes of Conor McGregor. It's got the Charles Oliveira's, the Dustin Poiriers, formerly the Khabib Nurmagomedovs, on and on and on and on. It used to be the light heavyweight division was the glamour division. This is like going back in the day. This is like Chuck Liddell days. But once John Jones cleaned that out, they needed a new division to call the glamour division. And now that we have these huge stars in the division, it's been the one that's got the most eyes. So today we'll talk about who I think are the top 5 UFC lightweights of all time. And as usual, if you agree, you disagree, we love to hear about it. Leave it down in the comments and we'll talk through it. So starting at the back end of it, starting at number 5, and this is the person that I think that could make the most noise on the list, is Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira. Obviously, this is not a recency bias situation because based on everything that we've heard on Twitter, a lot of people actually have him much higher on the list. I have him down at number 5, but I think that he has the ability to move up depending on what he does in this next stage of his career. Obviously, his stats and his accolades have been mentioned ad nauseum, but just to kind of go over it a little bit, the most finishes in UFC history, the most submissions in UFC history, one of the most aggressive and one of the most entertaining fighters that we've seen in recent memory. Charles does it, and he does it at a high level, and he does it at a very entertaining level as well. So I have Charles "Do Bronx" at number 5. At number 4 is somebody that I feel like gets slept on quite a bit. And he actually did something that changed the game that people kind of sweep under the rug that they don't pay attention to because of what happened later on in his career. But at number 4, I have Smooth Benson Henderson. He is obviously a former champion, and he defended his belt a few times. But what makes him stand out is he's the person that really first started utilizing the calf kick. He has a Taekwondo background, and so kicking was a major part of his game, and using it at different levels was something that he implemented quite a bit. And the calf kick was something that tore people up. I think that he doesn't get the shine that he deserves because a lot of his fights didn't end in finishes. A lot of his fights were close decisions. Now, granted, he won the majority of them, but they were close decisions nonetheless. He wasn't just wiping people out. Also, his ability to defend submissions and get out of submissions was just ridiculous. There were plenty of times where he was deep in some sort of guillotine and you would just see his hair pop out, and he may or may not have a toothpick. You never know. But Smooth Benson Henderson, despite what's happened at the latter end of his career in Bellator, still makes the number 4 mark on my list, the top 5 lightweights of all time. At number 3, I have Frankie the Answer Edgar. This one was a little tough between him and Ben, but I had him at number 3 because I feel like Frankie did more with less. If you were to look at his stature, I believe Frankie stands at about 5'6", whereas a typical lightweight champion like Islam Makhachev or Khabib or Charles Oliveira, they're at 5'10". So he comes in with some disadvantages, and he has a smaller frame at that. And I think that he probably would have been a featherweight or a bantamweight had that been in the UFC at that time. But he did what he could with what he had, and he was very successful at it. Another one of the most exciting fighters during his day. He was often in fights where he got clipped, he got hurt, and a lot of times it was said that a Frankie Edgar fight doesn't start until he gets hurt. And he showed that on numerous of occasions that he was able to have that kind of rocky comeback in a lot of fights that he was counted out in. And I have him at number 3 because of his ability to do more with less. At number 2, I got BJ, the Prodigy Penn. So this one, I think maybe a few years back, he would have been a shoe-in at number 1. But I discounted a couple of things. One, I took away in my mind the decline in his career when he was fighting when he probably should not have been fighting. And then 2, I took away his welterweight career. And he won a championship there, fought the best of the best there. But we're just talking about lightweight. And what he did in the lightweight division was still amazing. He was able to capture the championship and looked quite unbeatable for, at the time, the longest period of time that a lightweight reigned atop the division. BJ, he combined boxing as well as his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And what was really cool about BJ was his ability to just not absorb damage. It was a lot like the way that Anderson Silva was able to do things when he was at his peak, where he would leave a fight and you wouldn't even know he was in a fight. BJ did the same thing. He had elite athleticism, and his gamesmanship, his cockiness, his bravado is something that pushed him along in these fights, and just made him kind of a mythical figure in the lightweight division. So I have BJ Penn at number 2. And number 1, I think everybody knows who that is. It's going to be Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov. Father's Plan, Send Me Location. I mean, he's an icon. He's 29-0. The only thing that beat him was his commitment that he made to his parents about leaving when he left. So, I mean, what else can you say about Khabib? The legacy that he's left with the different fighters that he's influenced, and what really kind of pushes him ahead of the others is the fact that when he got the title, he started finishing people even more. So all of his title defenses are finishes, and his title defenses are over legendary names. So it's hard to put anybody over Khabib. And that's what, in my opinion, that's what makes people put him in the greatest of all time discussion with, the Anderson Silvas, George St. Pierre's, John Joneses, people like that. So Khabib is number 1. I challenge anybody to say anything different, and I don't think that they would. But that's my list. So if you have a different list, a different order, you think that Conor should have been on the list, you think that any other lightweight champ should be here, or even a lightweight interim champ. Maybe you think Tony Ferguson didn't get his just due. Let's talk about it in the comments. Would love to hear what you say. Otherwise, like, subscribe. We got more stuff coming out. Definitely keep us in mind when you're browsing around YouTube.